Hello, my loves. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing good. If you're not, I hope that you will. Welcome to this video. Welcome to your reading. Welcome to my channel if this is your first time. Welcome back if this isn't your first time. Thank you so much for joining me today, air signs. So this video is for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Welcome. So as you can see from the title of this video, today we're going to do a tarot reading. First, we're going to look at what have you learned and healed in 2020, and then we're going to look at some 2021 predictions. What will your new life be in 2021? And we're also going to get some advice from Spirit on, how to handle the transition, on whatever you might be needing advice for right now at the time that you're watching. So, two things I want to say before we get into it. First of all, this is a general reading, okay? So, of course, if you saw this on your feed, if you clicked on it, if you felt drawn to it, there's a message for you here, but it might not be the entire reading. And you always are in you're always the master of your own life, okay? Especially when we're looking at predictions for the future. These are things that are probable to happen, but you can change the course of that if you don't like that, okay? But yeah, so this is general reading, so take what resonates, and if something really doesn't resonate, just let it go. It's okay, you don't have to overthink it. And also I do private astrology and tarot readings if you're interested in something more personal from me. All the information on how to contact me, or if you have any questions or anything like that, you can contact me. All that information will be down below in the description box, as well as the timestamps to the reading of each of the signs. So yes, also, is there anything else I would like to say? Something else that I also realized that I wanted to say is that I will be talking a little bit about the Great Conjunction. Now, I'm filming this after it happened, so you might have already heard about it. It was on December 21st, 2020, and it happened at 0 degrees Aquarius. It was the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. I will ask the card when I asked about your predictions in 2021, it might be affected by the Great Conjunction. I might ask about exactly what is the Great Conjunction affecting, how is it affecting your life and you? So, especially since we're doing Aquarius in this video and this is happening in your sign. But yeah, and if you don't really know what the Great Conjunction is, what it means, I'm going to talk about it right after this, and it's also in the timestamps down below, so stick around to know that. If you're interested or if you don't know much about that, you can also just like look it up if you want to. But yeah, I think I said everything I wanted to say, so stick around if you want to hear about the Great Conjunction. Otherwise, you can go in the description box and find the timestamp of your sign and go to your reading, and I'll see you there. Okay, so the Great Conjunction, Jupiter and Saturn for me, they are the two social planets in the way that, they are outer planets, but they move quicker than the generational planets. Generational planets being Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So Jupiter stays in the same sign for about a year, and Saturn stays in the same sign for about 2.5 years. So the people born, for example, in school, your school grade pretty much has the same Jupiter and Saturn signs, or most of the people around exactly your age. So that's why they can be called the social signs. For me, I think Jupiter and Saturn, they are very, very opposite energies, but they're both definitely needed in the zodiac and in our lives, because Jupiter expands everything it touches, and Saturn is about constraints and restrictions. So you see kind of the paradox here. But how I see it is that, to me, Jupiter and Saturn are the two teachers of the zodiac, if you look at the archetypes, because I think Jupiter is kind of like the teacher that is very, very gregarious, very extroverted, very philosophical, and just very enjoyable, just has a nice sense of humor, and is very present and very friendly and very human. And it's very easy to like them, to like him, if you're talking him saying like Jupiter, but you know, if you're talking about them. So if you're imagining Jupiter as a teacher, it's like your favorite teacher that's so easy to like, right? And who really believes in you, really pushes you, and is always there for you. And if you're interested, you can talk with them after the class ends and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? I think we all had a teacher like that, or I wish that for you, because it is really enjoyable, really nice. And teachers often have strong Jupiter in their chart as well. And Saturn is the teacher who's really strict, who's more severe, and more serious as well. Saturn is kind of the cold teacher, the one that's just so easy to hate, or to dislike. And you don't, fun is not a keyword that you would associate with them. But as you mature and as you grow up and as you age, you turn back and you realize that they were like this to you, truly to encourage you to grow. They were hard on you to encourage you to grow and to work harder. And they were like hard on you to encourage you to learn how to discipline yourself so that you can be more and more successful as your life goes on. Okay, so Jupiter is not all good, because sometimes Jupiter can be too much, and can be, Jupiter expands everything it touches, but sometimes it can be too much as well. So Jupiter is not all good, and just Saturn is not all bad. Okay, so they're coming together during this conjunction. So this is really, the last time this conjunction happened was in May 2000 in the sign of Taurus, and now we have this happening at 0 degrees Aquarius. And as I already said, I think the 0 degrees is just so powerful and so symbolic. You can look in your birth chart, astrological birth chart, where this falls in what house, and this is where you're going to see the most changes. There's going to be a lot of innovations. There's just like, with this conjunction, especially at 0 degrees, I feel there's a lot of opportunities for new things and new doors to open, but of course you're going to have to take it if that is presented to you. Okay, it's just not going to happen just like that. But we've been in this super heavy Capricorn energy all year long, and we are slowly really moving out of that and looking at the future. We've been really kind of reflecting on our life and on ourselves and on our societies and our infrastructures, institutions, all of that stuff, which is really Capricorn and really Saturn. And all of that has been transforming because of Pluto and the Saturn-Pluto conjunction in January that's really heavily associated with COVID. But now we are looking forward. Okay, like we had all of this. We've been assessing, some of these things have broken down or have been teared down, but and we've assessed what is good, what is bad, what do we want to keep with us, and what do we want to leave in the past, and now where are we going? Like, now what? This is really the feeling that this great conjunction is giving me. So yeah, I think I've said what I wanted to say about this. If you're interested in some more information, you can look that up. Hello Aquarius, my loves. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing good. Welcome to your reading. This is for Aquarius Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm simply filming this the next day. That's why I'm wearing different clothes, but that's it. So before we get into the reading, I just want to explain once again what we're going to do and what we're going to look at in case you didn't listen to the intro. So first, we're going to look at what lessons have you learned and what things have you healed in 2020. Then we're going to look at what is the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn on December 21st, 2020, activating within you. If you don't know what that is or what that means, I talked about it a little bit at the beginning. It's in the timestamp, so go watch that if you want to know. And also we're looking at some general 2021 predictions, and we're also pulling some advice from Spirit. Okay, so without further ado, let's just get into your reading. Okay, Spirit, so what lessons did Aquarius learn in 2020? What did Aquarius Sun and Rising heal in 2020? What did Aquarius learn in 2020? Oh, okay. I think we're going to stop here. Yeah, I did think that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought we would stop, but then I kind of have the intuition that something else wanted to come out, so I just wanted to make sure. So, let's take a good look at these cards. I'm going to show them to you, but first I'm going to place them. Oh, there was a secret card underneath this one. I didn't see it. Okay. Okay, so yeah, if you don't know what the Great Conjunction is or mean, what it is or what it means, I really recommend that you go watch where I talk about it, or at least look it up, because it's happened in your sign of Aquarius, so it's like impacting you more than everyone else. Okay, so these cards are from the Star Child Tarot, in case you're interested. First we got the Empress. Oops, sorry. Getting this to focus, thank you. We have the Empress here. Clarified by the High Priestess in reverse. We have the Four of Wands in reverse, which was the first card to come out. Clarified by the Ten of Crystals. And we have the Nine of Wands. Clarified by the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords was the card that was like stuck to the Nine of Wands, and I didn't notice it at first, so it was kind of hidden. And we have, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Crystals. Okay, so the crystals in this deck are the Pentacles. Where should I put this? Right here. All right, so the first thing I'm seeing here is really a big reconciliation with the feminine, whatever that means to you, okay? There is something, you know, I believe we all have both feminine and masculine energies within us, no matter our gender or gender expression. But there is something here about healing the feminine, so perhaps you weren't accepting of your own femininity, or you have always, you know, there's also, because we live in patriarchal societies, there's often like a general and actually encouraged disdain of everything that is connected to femininity and to women. So that can be feminine, like a feminine style, something, and you know, feminine as in what is considered feminine by society and by the gender norms. Hobbies and interests and characteristics that are associated to women, like anything artistic or intuitive. But I feel like this can be whatever feminine energy has been healed in 2020. It's going to be kind of personal and unique to each person, but I feel like you know this already. Yeah, I feel like because this is clarified by the High Priestess in reverse, I feel like you guys, this is really about, for a lot of you guys, this is about your intuition that you had been repressed. You had been repressing, sorry. Yeah. and just your spiritual nature in general. I think that, and Aquarius is a very intuitive planet because you're ruled because you're ruled by the planet of Uranus. You're the most likely to be you're the most intuitive and psychic sign besides the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Okay. And especially because I was thinking, for Aquarius rising people, and what house were the Capricorn planets of the year, which were kind of messing things around for everyone. And if you are Aquarius rising, those planets were in your 12th house, which is really about a lot about isolation as well, but also about intuition and everything that is not of the 3D, different realms, different dimensions, spirituality, and many other things, but mainly this. So I was getting has been something that probably was triggered in 2020, but this is something that you've been kind of reconciling with, which is really great. And I think that you feel very powerful since then, and I think you feel more whole as well, because you finally stopped denying this part of who you are. And I feel like since then, who you are and how you express yourself makes so much more sense to you, because it feels more right. And I think that it does to other people as well, because it's more authentic now. I also see a different scenario. So some of you guys were actually too much in your intuition. I mean, that's kind of, some people would say that, I mean, too much into your intuition is not necessarily a thing when you listen to it right and you don't let it control your life, but that's kind of why I'm saying too much. Maybe it was kind of used in an unhealthy way. Maybe you were using like dreamy spiritual stuff to just justify everything in your life, and you weren't taking concrete action. Like, it's really, really great to listen to your intuition and to your heart, but it's not, I don't think it's good to completely dismiss your logic and your intellect when making decisions about your life. There should be some kind of balance. So for some of you guys, you didn't have that balance, okay, which actually made you not be able to have your high priestess energy, because it was just like not good for you. And so if that is your situation, if that was your situation, I think that you healed that, and you understood, because you understood that none of your dreams can actually happen if you don't, it's great to manifest them, but you also need to work towards them in the physical and in the 3D and take concrete actions towards them. I think you understood that, and I think you healed that because you started doing that. Okay, the Empress is about creativity. It's associated to Venus, the planet Venus, and it's also, it's a very fertile card, okay, because it speaks of motherhood. So maybe some of you actually became mothers or fathers or parents in 2020. If so, congratulations. But this could also have been like you learned how to birth new projects and new creative ideas into the 3D world. Because I really see, I mean, Venus rules both Libra and Taurus and astrology, but I see really this card as like Taurus energy. So it's an earth sign, right? So it's about birthing concrete things into the physical world, things that we can see, things that we can touch. Another things that you guys have dealt with the Four of Wands in reverse here, I think that a lot of you didn't actually have a solid foundation within yourself of who you are, what you believe in, what your values are, and things like that. And because of that, I just feel like you didn't have a solid sense of self, so you couldn't really rely on yourself and trust yourself as much as you should have. Okay, and it's really important for Aquarius. I mean, it's important for everyone, but individualism is really, it's something strongly associated with the sign of Aquarius. So it's important that you guys develop that, and it's healthy for you guys, and it's also a sign associated to ego. And I don't mean that in a negative way, although it can be. Aquarius and Leo are opposite signs, which means that they're like two sides of the same coin. So, we always associate ego with Leo, but actually ego can be very much associated to Aquarius as well. And the you know, the key is not to get rid of your ego, it's to learn how to use it in a healthy way that serves you and the people around you, okay? So that's why it's also important for you guys to learn how to have a solid sense of self and really get to know yourself. I think that this year, because of everything that happened, that really kind of messed you up, I think, and you just kind of realized that you didn't have a strong foundation within yourself, and that had been a big part of the reason why you had been struggling so much with everything that was going on. So I think that you wanted to remedy to that, and I think that you did. Okay, this is clarified by the 10 of crystals, which is really, really powerful, you guys. This is a 10 of pentacles. This is creating a legacy. This is building something really great that you can be proud of and pass on to future generations. Okay, this is emotional and financial stability. This is really a great card, but I also, because of the way it's designed in this deck, I also see this as spiritual. So I think you've learned that they come together, okay? I think you've learned that they are always interconnected. So if you cannot have full balance and reach full achievement and success, you know, success can be quite subjective, and because of the society that we live in that is really money driven and really kind of dismisses the spiritual realm, we always kind of think that success means money and money means success, but it's more complex than that. And I think you guys have understood this year, because a lot of people have a lot of money but don't feel fulfilled emotionally and spiritually and psychologically, and therefore they're not really happy. So can we really say that those people are successful? I don't think so personally. So I think you guys understood that to be and feel successful, you need to be in the material world and also in the spiritual world. You need to take care of your physical health, but also your emotional health, your psychological health, your mental health. You kind of realize that all those things are interconnected, and if you're doing good in one of these areas, it's really going to help out the others as well. So I think that you guys kind of have been working on those multiple things in 2020, and you were able to reach like a kind of new, a different kind of balance, or at least you've been striving for it and you've been seeing the results, and you're like, yeah, I feel like some of you guys are like, wow, I've been doing a lot better than some of you have ever in your life, and some of you have in a long time. And it's just been feeling different. That's really what I'm getting. I saw 1414 on the recording time when I said that, but it different in a good way. I think you guys are kind of like, oh wow, feeling like this. It's like it's a thing that exists, and I'm feeling like this right now. Cool. Finally, with the Nine of Wands and the Queen of Swords here, I see this as healing some kind of trauma that had been holding you back, as trauma always does when it's unattended to and unhealed. I see this as, it's something about words and speech and intellect. Some of you guys could have Chiron in the 3rd house, or yeah, Chiron in Gemini, or Chiron like in your astrological birth chart, or Chiron conjunct your Mercury or an aspect to your Mercury, or even in Gemini also. Oh, I said that. Yeah, that's what I said. What? For a moment I thought I had said like Aquarius, but anyway, yeah, so I think you guys had some kind of trauma or some kind of insecurities or struggles connected to your intellect or to speech. Maybe, you know, this Queen of Swords here to me is someone, not always, but it's someone who is very harsh with their words and can be very mean and very like brutally honest, but in a way that's not productive, and not brutally honest in a way that's admirable or respectable. Brutally honest in a way that's just plain rude. Okay? And I think that some of you guys have experienced that in the past. Perhaps one of your parents was like this, or people that you grew up around, and that was normalized. And I'm even getting that because some of you hadn't healed that and you just kind of were like, oh, I just need to toughen up, this is just how life is, because that's what you were kind of told in the past. Some of you guys actually became that Queen of Swords in some of your situations, in some spheres of your life. And I think you kind of realize it and you're like, oh my god, no, I don't want to be that. I'm literally getting, okay, I'm seeing that in my mind, so that's probably not for everyone, but I'm seeing like some of you had actually an experience where like, I'm hearing who like someone you know, like a friend or a student, if you're like a teacher or something, an employee, could have even maybe someone like, if you go to like church or something, could have been like someone who goes there with you, or anything that's would be like of a spiritual or religious circle, a neighbor even. Anyway, it could be a lot of people, but someone in your life kind of told you like, hey, you're so mean, or like, why are you so mean, or like, you're rude, like directly like that, and you were just kind of taken aback and you're like, what? And the thing is, this person didn't even try to say that to like attack you or argue with you. They were just literally just stating facts and stating what they were seeing and what they were witnessing, and you knew that. And so you kind of started to question yourself, and because I think if you did kind of start becoming the Queen of Swords, you did not realize it. It was unconscious, which is not surprising. And you were like, that's when you were kind of like, oh my god, I'm becoming my parents, or I'm becoming this person, or I'm becoming everything that I've always hated. And you're like, no, I don't want to do that. So I think that you made the connection of what you experienced and what you have been in, like, showing. Sorry if you heard that, my belly is making noises. I think you made that connection and you have been on the path to healing that. Yeah, because I feel like this spark here at the top of the sword, I feel it's some kind of illumination. So I think it could have happened like in a really kind of eureka moment, like kind of suddenly. I'm also seeing some of you guys realizing this as you're seeing a therapist or like a mental health professional. Okay, so this is what I was seeing for these cards. Now, I want to see what is the Great Conjunction activating for you guys. What is the Great Conjunction activating for Aquarius? Okay. Yeah. So we have the Hierophant. It kind of came out sideways, but I think it should be read in reverse. We have the Hierophant in reverse. And you know, the numerology of the year of this year in 2021, it's a 5-year, and the Hierophant is the 5th card. Well, it's number 5 in the major arcana. So I've seen a lot of people being like, this is a Hierophant here. So it's quite symbolic to me that you got that. At the bottom of the deck, we have Judgment. So I feel this is really you guys continuing to build your foundations. Because the thing is, you know, the Great Conjunction already happened, because I'm feeling this early January, and this happened on December 21st, 2020. But, you know, the effects are kind of lasting. That's why I'm still looking at these, even though it's already happened. But this is in reverse, so I feel like this hasn't been, you know, it's been activated within you, but I don't think it's been made conscious. I don't think you verbalized it, or that you can accepted it, or that it's just kind of hidden still, or like it's there, but it hasn't been like revealed yet, is what I'm getting. So you might be kind of pushed. I'm hearing leadership positions in 2021. You might be kind of pushed into leadership positions in 2021. You might become some sort of, you might want to become some sort of like spiritual teacher. You might, okay, yeah. I feel like people are really listening to your advice in 2021. I think, and I think that's just like in general. I think people are just like really listening to you, and you're like, what? And it's not that people weren't listening to you, but it's just different. I think you become some sort of reference, and people go to you really, and they're like, oh yeah, this person, like, go ask them. And I think that since you've integrated your spirituality within your sense of self and your identity more in 2020, you're really, I think you're showing up as that, and I think you're really respected in that, and I think people really kind of see you and for who you are, and I think that they acknowledge the wisdom that you have, and a lot of people will appreciate it, and that's why they will come to you for advice. Some of you guys could become teachers, or some sort of, I'm getting okay, that's funny. I was gonna say life coach, and then I heard like, ew, no, that term is ugly. Like, not in those words exactly, but I got that, like, you could become some sort of professional that could act like a life coach, but that you wouldn't be called like that, and that you don't like the concept of life coach, but it would be something in those veins, okay? But it's fine, you don't have to call yourself a life coach. It can be different, and it could be like connected to something spiritual, or it could be about faith, not necessarily religious faith, but faith in general. It could be about you, because we've talked about how you've reached some sort of like mastery and stability between the concrete, like the material, and the immaterial, the spiritual and the practical. So this could be you actually using that to help others in 2021. Okay. The idea might, you see how this person has like this kind of star around their head? I think that this might kind of happen in your mind at like in like a sudden like shift, a sudden idea that you just get like a light bulb moment, and you're like, oh my god, and I think that's when it's gonna get like unlocked like this. It might happen like that, or you suddenly just have like an image of yourself doing something like that. So can we get more 2021 predictions for Aquarius? What will their new life in 2021 be like? Oh, no, that's too much. I mean, okay, we'll take the top one and the bottom one from these. So what is going on here? Okay. So we have the Four of Pentacles. We have Death. We have Temperance. And we have the Hermit. So I think this year, I was gonna say this year will test your patience, but I don't think, I mean, it will, but I think it's mostly more about accepting, being patient and just accepting the situation in a non-confrontational way, okay? With these, the hermit is about, you know, I mean, going into hermit mode, obviously, it's about isolation, it's about going within to find the answers and removing the external stimulations. Temperance is about patience and divine timing. It's about, I also feel it's about replenishing your own cup. You see how this person is pouring into the cup here. It's about kind of letting yourself take care of yourself for a little while, being gentle with yourself. So this might be going on as well. It might be kind of forced if you have like a, if you still have like a lockdown in your country or something like that. But it's about you just accepting the situation. And it's actually gonna, if you do that, it's gonna help you move forward afterwards. The other cards I feel are more about your career or just what you do, like your general purpose, your general, the things that you do and you achieve, okay? And well, I also kind of got that some of you might be, you know, some of you are Aquarius sun and or moon and you have like a Taurus rising. So the Aquarius planets, you know, Jupiter and Saturn this year are transiting in your 10th house. So you probably have Aquarius midheaven, or at least you have these planets in your 10th house during the year, which is why career is so much, it's so highlighted right now. And also, you know, I was talking about this is how you're viewed by other people and other people come to you. The 10th house is also our, in astrology, it's also our reputation and how we show up in public spaces. So I feel, you know, you've built a foundation within yourself in 2020 with this Four of Wands, and now you're building it in your career, in your day-to-day life. I think there might be a big change, okay, with the Death card, because the Death card is about transformation. So maybe when I was talking about the Hierophant here, and I was like, maybe you're going to become some sort of guide or teacher, or you're going to integrate some of your spiritual knowledge and beliefs and wisdom into your work. You might have been like, what the hell is she talking about? It's not at all what I'm doing right now or what I want to do. Well, that might change and it might become it, okay? So I don't want to worry, because you're the master of your own life and it's going to happen if you want it to happen. But you might have this like, but I'm getting that this might, yeah, some of you might, I don't want to worry you guys about this, but some of you guys might like quit your job suddenly or be fired from your job suddenly, and that makes you kind of rethink what you're doing with your life, what you want to do with your life. And you're like, wait, what do I actually want to do? And you might kind of take a big U-turn and completely change your career. And that might be when you become this more Hierophant figure here. So you're kind of, you might be starting over, you're transforming a lot of things, or maybe you're just like transforming the way you're doing it, okay? There's just something that needs to die and that you need to let go of in order to be able to build something new. The dawn always comes after the darkness, but the darkness has to happen first so we could get the dawn, okay? But the beauty of the dawn and the sunrise makes it always worth it. And so you're building this new foundation after the Death card. And yeah, and I also feel the Temperance card is also connected to this, because the Temperance is about patience. It's also about your life in the next 2 to 5 years. So, you know, it might be, you might kind of start building stuff that will really, you might take actions and make decisions that really impact your career life for the next couple of years, okay? You're building towards something new. So it might be good to take a new look at your goals. Or, you know, if you do start something new, make long-term goals as well, okay? Really have long-term vision. And I think that you will get confronted to that anyway, because you have, even though you do have Jupiter transiting over whatever planets or points you have in Aquarius. So, this will be a very beneficial time. You also have Saturn, which can restrict, and Saturn, when we have a Saturn transit, and really kind of Saturn forces us to see the bigger picture and have a long-term vision, because Saturn wants us to succeed and be stable, okay? So you will feel the need to do that, and it will be very positive if you do that. It will be very helpful. Okay, finally, let's get some advice from Spirit. So, okay, that came out quickly. Yeah, not surprised. What is some advice for Aquarius? Sun, Moon, and Rising. Some advice for 2021. Yeah, that makes so much sense. Is there anything else? 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you want to come out? Do you want to? You and you? Okay, I'll take you. Okay, so you have a lot of cards in your whole spread, you guys, which is cool. I can never know exactly how many cards someone will get because I read jumping cards, as you can see. So first we had number 48. I only say the numbers in case it means something to you guys. We have Sophia, Divine Wisdom. We have number 15, Freya, Radical Acceptance. We have Danu Assurance, number 10, in reverse. We have, I'm not sure how you pronounce this one. Aine? I don't know. It's A-I-N-E. Anyway, it's number 1. It's the first card. It says adaptability. And finally, we have none other than Lilith herself, Independence, number 30. Okay, so these two cards to me Sophia and Freya, it's really what we've already talked about a lot in this pile. In this reading. I think that there needs to be a radical acceptance of your divine wisdom, literally. Okay, I think, and I see in this Assurance in reverse card, I think that you're not too confident in yourself and in how much you know and in how much you can help other people. I think that you need to work on your self-esteem. You need to work on your self-confidence and in how much you believe in you and yourself and in your abilities and talents, okay? Yeah, this is like coming under the Temperance card. I think that you really need to work on this to be able to attain the Hierophant mode, and that goes also through radical acceptance of your divine wisdom, literally, okay? Because and that is also about radical acceptance of yourself in general, which goes with building a good self-esteem. You need to accept yourself exactly as you are and view yourself exactly as you are. Those are the first steps before you can actually learn how to truly love yourself unapologetically. It is hard work, but it is so worth it, okay? Yeah, because you do have divine wisdom. You do, if if you have any psychic abilities or you've been working on that, and I'm getting some of you get like, I mean, we've talked about that, you get intuitive hits, you get like sudden messages or images in your mind. Those things are messages from spirit, okay? They are psychic abilities, okay? Trust them. They're not just random stuff. They are, you do possess and can connect to divine wisdom. Trust that. I think that in we have adaptability coming right under the death card, okay? You might be confronted to some changes in 2021. I mean, you probably will. And, you know, it might be frustrating, it might be disorienting, but the thing is, you will not be able to move forward if you just stay frustrated and stay stuck on whatever that was, okay? You will need to move on and be adaptable and just go with it and accept it. That will also require some radical acceptance, okay? You will need to be adaptable. You will need to be able to come through and just go with it and do what you can with what you have and keep showing up. Even if you're not too sure what you're doing, even if you're not too sure where you're going or you can't see where you're going, just keep showing up. And finally, we have independence. So I think that you really need to become more independent in 2021. Saturn will also really kind of hammer that within you. The Saturn transiting over your Aquarius planets or points. Yeah, I think that you need to, I also feel this is connected to the assurance card. I think that you don't, I think that some of you trust in your abilities, some of you trust that you can work hard and work well and get some results, but I think some of you guys are used to like working in groups and you're like, you don't have the assurance that you can do it on your own. And the thing is, you can. And I think it's important you learn how to trust in that independence. And I think that if you don't, and you know, this came out under the Hierophant in reverse, so I think that's also why you guys are not letting yourself attain, you know, I keep going back to this Hierophant, but I feel it's really a major point in this reading, and it makes sense because this is the card about what is the great conjunction activating within you, and I told you this is affecting you guys more than anybody else because the great conjunction happened in your sign of Aquarius. So that's also what I think, if you've been dependent on other people or on organizations or workplaces or colleagues or groups of any kind, your friends, if you're like dependent on your friends' support, you can't start anything new or anything like that without your friends' support or sorry, I can't speak, or the support of any sort of group that you have in your life and that you have in great esteem, it's gonna hold you back in 2021. And I think that if you don't actually start to become more independent, I think that inevitably in the year there will be a point where you will just feel completely suffocated. I'm hearing in the workplace that you are in, but also in your life in general, and you will need to have independence. You will feel like you will go crazy if you don't just pursue your dreams and go live your own life instead of continuing to live the life that other people want you to have. Yeah, okay. At the bottom of the deck we had, I don't think I showed it, we had number 47, Scold the Future. You are building towards your future. This is all happening for you to build the future of your dreams, the future that you deserve, the future that you want, a future where you feel successful, fulfilled, and happy, and stable, and strong. Okay, so this was a beautiful reading. These are all the messages that I got for you today, Aquarius. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like this video, comment down below, share this video, subscribe to my channel for more videos like and unlike this one. I do private consultation for both tarot and astrology. I sell personal readings and my private readings are currently open. So if you want something more personalized from me, you can contact me through email or Instagram. All of that information will be down below in the description box. I would love to see you there to converse with you. You can just also, like, if you have any questions, if you want to keep staying in touch with me, anything like that, you can also go there for that. I post some astrological forecasts and some pick-up piles on my Instagram, so go check that out if that's something you would be interested in. So this was a general reading. If there's something that didn't resonate, you can let it go. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. If this reading did not resonate, I recommend that you watch one of your other signs, so sun, moon, or rising. It might resonate more with you, especially your rising sign. If this isn't your rising sign, I really recommend that. So fire and water signs are already up on my channel, and earth signs will be on my channel within the next few days, so subscribe so you don't miss around on that. But otherwise, I think I've said everything I wanted to say. I'll send you guys off. I wish you guys an amazing day and an amazing 2021. Thank you for watching. I love you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.